it's really an honor to be with you this morning. I'm super happy to be here. I'm also super impressed. It's not an exercise that I'm used to do, so please forgive me if I lose my words sometimes. So today I'm going to speak about how at Deezer we really reshaped totally our app growth strategy. Deezer is a music streaming platform based in Paris, and we are one of the largest independent music streaming platform. And the quick note before I start is that we changed our whole logo and brand platform just a few weeks ago. So you will see screenshots that are from the past, from our old brand platform. So do not be surprised that our logo totally changed. So 2 years ago, we had a new CEO coming over, and he asked the difficult question, which was, how can Deezer become the first music streaming platform to reach profitability? Indeed, for those who don't know, music streaming is an industry that is structurally loss-making. So it was indeed a very difficult question for us, and it was also where things, to my perspective, where it started to get interesting. Because when you have the real constraint of profitability, you need to be smart, you need to make tough decisions sometimes, and you need to be very pragmatic. So when it comes to app growth, it's indeed a very good and a very healthy constraint. I had a look at where we started from. There was some good things. Indeed, we exist since 2007. We are not a very new company. So there was good things in place. First of all, we were a very decentralized organization, which allowed us to be super relevant locally. We also had a KPI of cost per lead on our user acquisition campaigns, which was good, like it was already on a conversion step. We were accompanied by an excellent digital agency, and we also had a very good level of maturity in ASO, as we were one of the first advertisers to actually work our presence of the App Store. There were some less good things, obviously. First of all, we were a decentralized org, and it has its downsides. We also had a lack of seniority, so it means overall that we had junior acquisition managers who reported to generalist marketing director. So it was not really easy to get those juniors to upskill. We had no agility in budgets or in creatives. We could not shift budget from one market to the next. It was like we lacked agility on this one, and we also lacked resources on ASO. Overall, what we could see was that the performance marketing team really lacked ownership, which basically reduced their ability to test, to innovate, and in fine, to improve. So my reply was really, to reach profitability, let's first start to give back ownership to the experts. So at this stage, everything starts with a good recruitment. And I'm really going to emphasize on that, because if you don't have the right people in, basically nothing will be possible. So you need to take your time to get the right people in. You look for the right hard skills, but not only, you also look for potential, and you look for mindset. And once you succeed your recruitment, like really, to me, that's the starting point, then magic can happen. Once you get those people in, you give them a very easy-to-read organization, so everyone knows their job. We at Deezer decided to centralize all this expertise, again, in this idea of giving them back ownership. And we gave them trust, because we hired them so well, and we made sure that basically everyone had a strong impact. And so now that you have that, things can start to get serious a little bit more. So then we worked on the foundations. So there are many foundations, but I picked 4 of them on which we really focused. So the first one is media buy operations. We decided to bring media buy in-house, despite the fact that we had a very good digital agency, also because we were at this level of maturity where we wanted really to have this valuable knowledge of how to bring users in. We wanted this knowledge in-house, basically. And also, there was an idea of giving back control to the teams, make sure they are hands-on, They have their hands on their campaign, and they can really directly play with their optimizations. And so it was a huge project for us. It took us like really a while, but the results were really beyond our expectations, and we only had like positive outcome from bringing this in-house. The second thing that we worked on, so in parallel to all this work, we also built a revenue team who focused on having a very clear pricing and offer strategy. So for the first time, we did have, we built an offer calendar. And on top of that, we also took the hard decision to be the first music streaming service to increase their price. Indeed, like, very surprisingly, the price did not increase for 12 years on the market. On top of looking for profitability, we also did that because we truly believe that music is undervalued today. So we want to bring back value to music. The third one is a KPI of predictive LTV over SAC. So we went from monitoring over the cost per lead to a monitoring of over predictive LTV SAC. So I'm going to spend a little time on that. Our data team did an amazing work building an algorithm inside. So using 9 different parameters, they are able to give us the predictive LTV of every lead that we send them over. So that's a huge improvement for us in our ability to measure our profitability, obviously. However, there are some downsides to that. Predictive LTV is still just a guess on the future. And in the end, what happens is that we get this false feeling of certainty when we monitor our campaign based on LTV SAC. LTV SAC being like a lagging KPI, it makes sometimes our life a bit challenging, and also it can get a bit disappointing when you also compare what was predicted versus what actually happened. The fourth pillar that I wanted to dig a little further with you this morning is user journeys. So in the past, because we had this decentralized organization, the acquisition team were not really involved in the improvement of the user journeys. That was really led on the product side with the UX design team. And we wanted to change that. So what we did is that we built a task force with 1 person from my team and 1 person dedicated to product user growth. And together, we basically have one mission: test as many things as you need, but improve our conversion rate on our user journeys. Again, so we had these 2 people work really closely together and really well, and they did like amazing job. Like in one A/B test, we managed to get 1 point of conversion rate incremental from install to try and buy lead, just by testing what happens if we remove our D0 box. So that's the screen on the right. So that was and so I'm sorry it's in French, but that's basically that was a step that you were proposed as a user, basically, and that's actually not in French. So the users felt like it was an ad and they skipped it. Instead of that, we tested pushing them directly to the paywall with all the offers, no additional step, and yes, like with no surprise, it actually performed very well. The other side to that is, on the other hand, many times actually, we do fail on our A/B tests. I think that's a general fact for many of us. So here, for instance, you see on the very extreme right of the slide, this is our current mobile web homepage that we tested against many different versions, a marketing-oriented one. We pushed our flow feature. We tested changing the order of the cart. In the end, like it's been 2 years, and still our best performing version is the current one. So when you look at it, you can see 2 ways. The first one is, okay, we failed. We did not succeed to increase our conversion rate. And the other side of the coin is, well, actually, we have that's the best version all along. So in a sense, it's not that bad. Okay, so now that we got our team, we got the foundations right, now the real fun can begin. We also brought agility on budgets, on creatives. So we basically built a context where the team could really have fun testing whatever they wanted to test. And we had amazing achievements. I only picked 2 of them because of the time constraints, the 2 that I find the most interesting for you this morning. So the first one is on social ads. Beyond our usual conversion campaigns that are ongoing, we also had in the past a one-shot consideration campaign. So campaigns that would promote an album release, campaigns that would promote a new feature that we optimized based on new registered. And in the past, there were one-shots only. That meant that we had a fixed budget, we had fixed creatives with a fixed time frame. And the team felt a bit like frustrated, and so that's one of the examples. They had a really good creative, very high quality design, very relevant to our target audience in Brazil, and they started to test it, and it performed not so bad, but they also felt like, wow, we could really improve that if we were given the opportunity. So we decided to turn the one-shot campaign into ongoing activations, where the team was totally free to test, to iterate, and slowly optimize both their campaigns and their media buy. So that's the example that you get on the left. They could add the Deezer logo from the start, copy on the assets, and we had tremendous results. So on 2 different levels. The first one, which is not a surprise, I guess, for experts, we had a minus 27% on cost per greg on the consideration campaigns themselves. So a very good win for us. The other one that we instinctively knew that it would work, but we were not so sure, was that having these ongoing activations, these ongoing consideration campaigns on social ads allowed us to run tests with exposed and non-exposed. So exposed to consideration campaign, how do they react to conversion campaigns, so ones that really push trial, versus the one who only gets the very conversion-oriented messages. And we found that we managed to improve the performance of our conversion campaign by 31%, only by working basically more of the mid-funnel part. The other example I wanted to share with you this morning was on ASO. On ASO, we did brought more resources in-house as well. And we multiplied testings, and what we found out is that, on average, we need to run 5 ASO A/B tests for only 1 to succeed. So here in the example, we tested different background colors. We tested marketing-oriented messages. Again, we tested our new flow feature. We also tested just optimizing the copy. But in the end, none of these tests had any uplift. What had an uplift was really testing and pushing an album cover versus an offline feature as the first screenshot on the App Store. And also one learning that we have that we are totally aware of is that, maybe we tested too small, and maybe we need to be really bolder than that to actually get uplift. And so with all this work done, all this parameter worked, and these 2 years really focus on growing our profitability, we are very happy to show that we had indeed tremendous results. So this is a sample of our LTV SAC for the past 2 years, and how it did improve. It improved progressively, it improved consistently, and we are very, very, very proud of this achievement. So that was basically what I wanted to also to share with you this morning. So thank you very much for staying with me and for your attention. We don't have the opportunity to have a Q&A session. However, you can catch up with me later. I'll be here the whole day with you if you have any question or comment. Thank you.